I'm going to skip to the chase. I can't say hi because my quota bag is here. Yes, she is here. This is a really quick unboxing because I'm heading out with her and I will come back and give you a little bit more information about it all later on. But I'm just so excited and I just can't believe this is just such a great way to start the year. I have watched more quota bag unboxings than is probably healthy for one human to watch. I do have a quota bag already, but this one is my most recent one and she just feels extra, extra special. So let's go, guys. So let's open her up. She comes out of the bag. And here we go. Oh my goodness. You probably have an idea of what I'm going to open up, but it is just amazing. I did open up a Picatin 18 in one of my earlier videos. This feels insane, like absolutely insane. So let's pop this ribbon. And it is a 2025 ribbon, by the way. I believe my essay was saying that this is the year of drawings or something like along those lines. To be honest, I did not hear anything that he was saying because all I could think about was the excitement of getting to this bag. So I'm going back in next month, so we'll have to reiterate that later on. So here we go. Now, I always found it absolutely fascinating when I would watch these videos and people would get you to guess what was in there. And I don't know, but I was always really excited to get to what they were going to open up to. So I was never one of those ones to pause and be like, I'm going to write down what I guess because you're going to find out in 10 seconds anyway. So let's cut to the chase. And what have we got here? You could probably tell from the size. We are looking at, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I can't even get these cords open. It's one handle in Cray. And let's shuffle this back a little bit more. She is a Kelly 25 in Cray in the Cellier style with palladium hardware. Oh my goodness, is she not just the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? So I'm like smiling from ear to ear now. You could not stop me from smiling, like probably for the next 24 hours at least, let's say. So you can see she's got 4 feet there. Her sticker did come off from this little bit here, just as I was playing with her in the store. You can see the rings here that are going to have the strap attached, the longer strap. So that's in here. Now I really did want to get a good feel for this in the store. So we took the strap out, clicked that on, and to click it on, there's normally these stickers that go over the top here. Oh, sorry, my fingerprints are mucking it up a bit. But there's normally a sticker that goes over here, goes over the loop, but then you have to peel that off in order to be able to try it on with a strap. So let's try that on. So I'll just clip that on here. Now these are so fiddly and they get the essays to put them on with their gloves on, which I can only imagine is like insanely difficult. So there we go. You do sort of just have to get the angle right and then come over to the other side. And in here, there we go. Oh, that one went on pretty easy. There we go. And this color is just gonna go with everything. I just can't think of anything that she will not go with. Now she is quite stiff at the moment. This is my first Kelly 25. I did see a bazillion videos. Yes, I know they are hard to open to begin with. You do get used to them over time apparently, and they do soften and relax a little bit. When I tried it in store, look, I was a little bit worried, am I going to be able to get in and out of this bag? But to be honest, I have read videos. Look, I don't know how slouchy or how soft those Retin-A bags are in the Kelly 25, but this really isn't that bad. So whatever video you're hearing about it being extremely difficult to get in and out of the bag, I think it's It's not as bad as I had imagined it would be. So you can see in here there's a zipper. I haven't even opened this zipper. This is the first time. So there is a zipper back there, and nice and smooth, of course, and a little pouch around the front. I think there's quite a lot of space. It is pretty roomy, and this sizing is going to be so perfect on me. The stickers are still on here. I'm going to have to take a sec. Oh, there is a little bit of sticker left just at the bottom here. The main part of it came off while we were just having a look at it in the store, and I said that was fine. And you can see the beautiful stitching on that. I still can't believe the stitching on these things. And the Cellier is supposed to be one that is harder and takes longer to stitch than the Retinée style. So I do really appreciate the craftsmanship that's involved with making this, and the fact that it is made by hand. It's been just over a week since I've gotten this beautiful Kelly bag. I have popped her Twilly on, so she is wearing the Hermes Story Twilly, which I think provides great protection for the handles, but it's not so busy that it takes over the bag. And Cray is such a beautiful color on its own. I think it doesn't need a huge amount. In fact, I have used her without the Twilly on there because I think she is really just beautiful in her simplistic nature, but it is nice, of course, to have that protection every now and then when you're running around. Now, I did stop the video a little bit quickly before because in my last video, while I was recording, I saw there was a little bit of a black mark on there, and I just started to get the cold shivers. I was wondering if I'd done something without realizing to my bag, but I've just rubbed it with a soft cloth and a bit of warm soapy water, and that's looking absolutely fine now. Now, I was in a bit of a hurry last time, and I didn't get to show you that there was a lock and the keys are just in there. The keys don't look like they have any plastic on them. No, that's what they look like there. Oh, they've actually got a number on them. And then the padlock, which I've kept the plastic stickers on. I have kept the plastic stickers on. I just feel like she's just so new. I'm too scared to do anything too dramatic. I have kept the stickers on the feet as well. You can see the 4 feet there. I feel like as that's the main resting area and nobody really sees underneath there, I think it's just nice to have that protection. And then perhaps if they peel off, I might leave it as it is. I'm not sure if you can get other stickers to add on there later on. Now, usability, I still find that the Epsom leather is still quite usable. I know that there are concerns from a lot of people, you know, comparing the Retinée to the Cellier. I do think it's still very usable. It's obviously not going to be as soft as a Retinée. The opening, I think, is all right. Yes, the pockets are a little bit harder to get in and out of, so the zip is nice and smooth. It does take a little bit of getting used to, but I don't think it's completely unusable. It's not like you're trying to open a box or anything like that each time. I have had a look at the little artisan signature and my little code that's in there to say that it's a unique piece, but I think it's definitely very usable. I would love to get a Retinée in the future just for comparison, to have a feel against the two, and I think that in the future it would be lovely to have a Retinée to add to the collection as well. I did just want to run over my experience of getting this bag. So I had received a message, a comment on one of my vlogs before where I had bought my fine jewelry piece, and someone commented and said you should get your Kelly or your Birkin within 3 weeks. Now I read that, got a little tingle of excitement, and then thought, you know what, don't get your hopes up too much. You may get disappointed. I didn't say over the course of my last few videos, but my essay has been really good at making me feel okay about waiting. So I do know that it seems to be, in the past, a lot of people have said that essays will not discuss bags with you over messages because they don't want to seem like they're promising anything. They don't want to be held accountable if something does change later on. But my essay doesn't play games with you, and that's what I really, really like. And he had to go away for a short period in February, and he did tell me that he was going away and that he hadn't forgotten, and that he was still on the lookout for something amazing for me, and that he would continue to look for me. And even then, after when he came back, he was still touching base with me regularly to say that he's got it. And I think you really do have to trust the process, because my husband had said, you know, maybe you should message him and ask him every few days, has anything come in the shipment? And I just felt like I didn't want to pester him because I felt like he had it. He's got it. I've just got to wait my time. These things are not instant gratification items. You do have to just wait your turn. There's other people that have been waiting before me. So when I did get the message, I was so thrilled, so excited. I saw the message and I immediately messaged my husband and told him that I think this is the moment. And I hadn't been expecting the message that week, and so I wrote back to my SMA, and I said, oh look, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see this amazing thing that you've got in store for me. Can I come in a week's time? And he said, yeah, that's okay. Are you sure you don't want to come in earlier? And I read that as a hint, as just come in as soon as you can. I don't know if I can hold this for a huge amount of time. So we ended up dropping a few other things that we had to do and rearranging our schedule, and we were able to come in fairly quickly after that to see him. So when I did come into the store, it was great. My husband was there, and I felt like I needed someone to come in there to ground me, because I know that often you don't get offered what you want. Now, what I had asked for was I had asked for a fairly cool undertoned bag, preferably in a neutral, and looking for palladium hardware, but open to the Retin-A or Cellier style, in a Kelly, in a 25, but erring on the side of a Retin-A style. So when I got there, I was thinking to myself, while we were driving there, I was thinking to myself, what is an absolute hard no for me? So I thought if I got in there and I was offered a Birkin, that would probably be a hard no for me, because I have a Birkin and I was waiting it out for a Kelly. I would probably think that it's reasonable to say no if you're offered a completely different bag, and that my SA would understand why I was holding out. And then it just got into murky waters. You know, what would I say no to from there? So I did say to my husband, look, I'm just a bit nervous about, like, you know, I want to go home with the bag, but I don't want to go home with a bag that I'm not happy with. And it is a fairly big purchase, as you do know. So I went in there, and as soon as I walked in, my SA was so happy to see me, and I was really happy to see him as well. And then we were just chatting and catching up about things that we'd been doing recently. And then he said to me, I'm just so excited that you've come into the store. I can't wait to show you some of the new products that have come in. And at that moment, my blood ran cold, because I thought, oh my God, I've completely misread the message. I've thought that he was going to offer me a Quota bag, but actually he's just excited to show me some new items that have come in. And I think my husband sort of looked at my face and realized what I was thinking, and then he just kept the conversation flowing for a little bit longer while I just picked my heart up off the floor and stuck it back in my chest and thought, okay, well, I'm here anyway. But after we had finished the small talk, he said to you, I do have something really amazing to show you, as I promised. And from there onwards, my heart began to beat at a regular rate again, and I realized, yes, we are on the same page. So I don't know if that's ever happened to any of you guys before. Have you ever been offered something special and you thought that it was going to be a Quota bag, and then you've come in store and realized that you've just completely misunderstood the message, and in fact you were in there for something else? Look, considering how murky the waters are and how hazy the whole messaging system is for some people, I wouldn't be surprised if this was the case. But fortunately, he followed through. He sat me down. We had come in quite early in the morning, and the store was quiet at that stage. And so we didn't go to a private room. He sat me down and then offered me the bag there. And I remember just sitting there at that moment, waiting for the box. So he went out to the back to grab the box. He brought it out. It had that brown paper strip on the top over the box that you see in many videos. And look, it's a pretty flimsy piece of brown paper. I'm sure you could probably just glue stick the brown paper back on. But I see why it's done. It does make you feel special. And I said to him, you know, have you seen the bag? And he said, I haven't had a chance to see the bag because I've just started this morning. But here it is. So he brought it out, and the size of the box looked about the right size. And when he brought it out and set it down, and I just thought to myself, I felt like I was reliving other people's YouTube reveals. I had just seen so many of these offers being done on YouTube and all the shorts and that sort of thing. And it felt like time just stood still as he was opening this box for me. So he opened it up and out came one handle, and I thought, oh my goodness, thank goodness for that. I'm just going to fix this because I really do prefer them to be not flopping everywhere too much. In fact, I do like them quite tighter, but I'm still getting the hang of it. And so he brought it out, and to be honest, I did get a hint of disappointment when it came out and there was the pointy corners of the Cellier, because I had been hoping for a Retin-A. The color I was absolutely smitten with, so I knew it was a yes on the color. I mean, Cray, it's super, super classic, so easy to wear. It's palladium hardware, so as she was coming out, I could see yes, 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 and then just at the bottom when the corners came out, I thought, ah. And at that moment, I was like, I don't know, you know, like it's like 80% there. This bag is 80% there. Am I there? And so he stood there, and then my husband could sort of read my face a little bit, and then he started to make a few remarks, and then I think I got out of my little dream haze at that stage, and I asked if I could, you know, if I could hold it or touch it, because he was wearing gloves and I wasn't, but he was so lovely, and he let me carry it around the shop and look in the mirror and all that sort of thing, take some photos and make sure I was absolutely happy with it. And as soon as I popped it on and I was looking at the mirror, I instantly fell in love. So it was just one of those things where I think when you see it on yourself, it just has a different sort of aesthetic than when you're looking at it and someone else is holding it. As soon as I held her and looked at her in the mirror, everything just seemed perfect. Like there was absolutely nothing wrong with her at all. And in fact, since I brought her home, I have completely rejigged in my brain what I think is beautiful about the Kelly bag. And I think it's okay to sacrifice a little bit of that difficulty of opening just for this beautiful, beautiful shape. And I think my main concern initially about having a Cellier was these corners and the rubbing on the corners. But look, I've seen other bags in the Retin-A style where you do get that rounded rubbing of the corners anyway. So I think it's something that you do just have to be careful of regardless of which style of bag you get. And I think that yes, there have been some thoughts about this as being a little bit more of a formal bag. Is it hard to wear with just the regular outfit? Look, I have taken her out a few times. Yes, she's been to a lovely formal dinner with me, but she's also come out with me in my jeans and in a denim skirt and that sort of thing. And I think that she is perfect in any scenario. I would be quite happy to take her to the supermarket with me to just pick up some milk, and then I'd also be happy to go luxe shopping with her as well. So I think that she is more versatile. The Cellier is more versatile than people are giving it credit for. So my essay was not rushing me at all and allowing me to have a little bit of time to sort of hold the bag and feel it and work out how I was going to wear it. Obviously you do have the long strap, and you can wear it with the short strap. And it was actually my husband that said, you know, do you want to have a look at a Twilly? I had been thinking if I did get a bag that I wasn't going to get a Twilly, I was just going to wear it on that day and have a look at it and make sure that I enjoyed it as just the simple leather bag that she was. But once my essay brought out the Twillys, well, once the Twillys come out, you just can't say no to a Twilly, can you? They're just all so gorgeous. So we did try a bunch of Twillys on. This is the one that I ended up choosing. I don't think I could have chosen a more perfect Twilly for her. And I can't wait to dress her up in lots of different other styles later on, but this is definitely the right one for her. Now the store had started to fill up a little bit at that stage. I was having a lot of people just suspiciously milling around that area, happening to look at some of the other items that were around that area where I was sitting with my bag. And I have seen some unboxings at that same store too. I saw an Elan being offered to someone maybe 4 months ago or something like that. And I remember that feeling of envy, you know, I wonder when it's going to be my turn. So I very much know what it's like to be on the flip side of that. So at that stage I said, yes, we're definitely taking her home. We're going to get a Twilly. This is the one. We're going to take her home. and he was lovely enough to tie it on for me. I have since taken the Twilly off just to have another look at it and to try it on it in other styles as well. He went to box her up. I went to have a look at other things in the store. To be honest, I have been so keen to buy other stuff. So as you know from some of my other videos, I have this problem where I just can't hold myself back from wanting to buy everything in the store. Except I knew that after I had bought my fine jewelry piece, I really just needed to like stop, just stop, take a breath. You know, there's plenty more times to buy later. I think that my SA had already indicated to me that the Kelly was going to be coming. So it actually was quite painful for me to stop and wait and see things coming through on the website and want to get them, but just think, look, I've just got to calm down for a little bit. And look, it's probably best for my wallet to calm down for a little bit too anyway. And so we went to pay for this. And I just thought, oh, I'm so relieved I can come back and shop again. So I'm really excited to go back into the store, get some other things. There are so many things that I want to get. I can't even explain them all to you, but there's definitely something in every department. And this is not just because I want to tick boxes off for getting a Quota bag. This is just because I can't wait to get a whole bunch of items. Am I hooked? Oh my goodness, I am hooked so bad. In fact, while I was there, I was just so thrilled with the bag, but I just wanted to add to my wish list. I know it's absolutely insane, isn't it? I don't even know what to say. I didn't even tell my husband this because I want to get them in every color. I want to get every Quota bag. It's an absolute addiction, just like my previous video. And I think the really clever thing about Hermes is that because of this need to develop a relationship and to show that you are committed to the brand, it forces you to have this tunnel vision. So this tunnel vision where you only want to buy everything that you can possibly buy just from Hermes. So I did used to love Louis Vuitton. I adored Chanel. And if it wasn't for the issues with a lot of quality problems I've been having and the massive price hike, I probably would have still been a diehard Chanel girl at heart. But I think something about Hermes, you know, you go there and it's reliably good quality. You're always going to be able to pick up a product that's beautiful, that's perfect, that has the detail done to it. You really don't run into many videos where you have people complaining about the quality or craftsmanship of Hermes. But what's so clever is that because you are on this journey, you don't want to spend your money anywhere else. My husband's like, oh, this is beautiful here, this is lovely here. I have eyes only for Hermes. I only want to buy at Hermes. In fact, when we go to dinner or when we buy a gift and we have to buy someone a gift and it's out of Hermes, I think to myself, oh my goodness, I could have spent this amount of money and gotten this, or it could have gone towards this at Hermes, or could have gone towards my pre-spend. And of course, that is not how you should live. You know, you should go out to dinner and just enjoy the dinner. You know, you're eating that money, but you should enjoy the experience and being with the people that you love. And that is just part of, I guess, that really clever way that Hermes has designed their game to make sure that you are completely exclusive to this brand. And most of us don't have unlimited funds. You know, of course, we would love to buy from every fashion house. And I mean, I have bought other stuff from other brands as well. But my mind just keeps going back to Hermes, you know, like how can you compare? How can you compare this craftsmanship to anything else that's out there? You just can't. This is made by hand. They spend, I think it's 18 hours making this bag. Where else can you get that? And that sort of relationship as well. Like you do get hooked on having this beautiful relationship with your SA. You know, I go into any other store. I mean, I have a fantastic LV person as well. He is really wonderful too. But look, I do just get a bit tired of the constant changes in LV items over and over again. They've had that huge issue with the Murakami and the cherry, that whole saga going wrong. And I think there are some other intrinsic issues with LV, including quality problems too. But I think Hermes, it's really the pinnacle, isn't it? And you just keep striving for these products that have so much perfection in them. So I think Hermes has just made it they've just worked out the perfect formula. You don't want to buy anything else. I do not want to buy anything else. I mean, aside from groceries and that sort of thing, do I want to buy a blanket anywhere else? No. Do I want an SLG anywhere else? No. Do I want to buy fashion jewelry from anywhere else? No, I do not. I only want to get it from Hermes. I want to add it on. I want to continue the journey. I want to work towards another beautiful, perfect, amazing bag such as this one here. So I think it's just a really interesting dynamic and lifestyle, you know, that creates this immersion of you in this Hermes brand. You just don't want to get out. You really don't. I did buy this insert here, and it's from Purz Insert. So Purzinzert. I will put that up on the screen. It has a little sort of zipper here. I would love to try some of the other more premium ones, but I did want something that just came really quickly, and I was just able to get this express shipped to me, and I just didn't have time to research. This is a really light bag. I just wanted something in there as soon as possible. So I have brought her out a few times. There are no marks in the bag yet. As we know, Hermes will not spar the inside of your bag, nor will they spar the handles, so it's really important to look after those. So I'm just going to pop this in. I did get a light insert. I know this sort of colour, this satiny white colour, is probably going to get dirty, but it is nice to have a light colour as an insert in your bag, because that way you can find stuff rather than it becoming a big dark hole. So that fits in there really, really beautifully. There isn't much of a concern, of course, of this dinting the bag. It is a very soft satin material, and the Epsom is a very, very sturdy and hardy leather. And for cleaning it, it is just as I said before, that you can just rub it gently with a very soft cloth and a little bit of soapy water, but it is very, very resilient. Now, these don't come with the raincoat anymore. My Birkin many years ago did come with a raincoat. I'll just show you this here. So the raincoat was just sort of this plastic cover that you would keep in your bag, and it had this plasticky material that you would just drape over if you ever caught in the rain. I have been caught in the rain actually with her, and I was just caught in this like quick shower that came out, and I didn't realize it was coming. I forgot to wipe her down afterwards, actually, to be honest, and you can see you can't see any evidence of it at all. So Epsom is really such a sturdy leather. It does sort of remind me of that Prada like Saffiano leather, but it does have a much more beautiful grain to it. So you can see that the grain really does have a gorgeous leather, and it is sort of a pressed leather, the Epsom leather. It does have a little bit of a smell to it, like it does have that leather smell, probably not as intense as like some of the softer leathers. So I got the Clemence in the Picotin. It has a much stronger leather smell, but certainly this does have it definitely has a beautiful fresh new leather smell to it. Do I want more bags? Absolutely. Yes, I do. I'm still hanging in there, I guess, for a Retin-A Kelly and maybe for a Birkin at this stage. Let's see what happens. I will continue my shopping experience and sharing it with you guys. I really appreciate everyone that's had my back getting me through this. You know, just waiting it out for this has been a little bit nerve-wracking, and I don't know how some of you guys do it without the support of a good SA or an SA that might be a little bit harder to contact. I feel like my SA has really supported me, and I've been so happy so far with my experiences at Hermes. They've really just taken luxury to the next echelon, and I'm a customer for life. I'm there for life. I will be on this journey forever, and please stay tuned for more unboxings. And yes, the part 2 of my the reasons why you don't have a quota bag will continue next week. It just sort of got sidetracked by this amazing entrance into my life. Anyway, I hope you're having a fabulous week too, and I will catch you soon. Bye.